You're in the zone. The superhero zone. Cue intro. Hello, and welcome to Superheroes 101. My name's Xavier, and I'll be your host. And welcome to Power Month, Ranger fans. If you're a Ranger fan, you know that it's Power Month. Hasbro made this whole month about Power Rangers. Because before, it used to be just a Power Rangers anniversary day, which was It used to be just like a Power Rangers themed week, but now it's a whole month. So that means on my channel, you'll be getting weekly Power Ranger themed content for all the new Power Ranger stuff that comes out, like toys, show news, all that type of stuff. But in this video, we're going to be going over the Dino Fury wrap-up episode 2. So I'm going to be reviewing the second episode of Dino Fury and talking about it with you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. But before we get into the video, as you can see, this wall is quite bare. I'm remodeling my back wall. I was remodeling my back wall, and I decided to make this blank wall a Power Rangers themed wall. That's why it's been blank for the last couple of videos. So yeah, I'm going to remodel it with all the Power Rangers on it, and yeah. So yeah, let's get prepared to get into this video. But if you're interested in my cool superhero related content, you can follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. I post really fun, cool stuff over there, so you should check it out if you're interested in my content at all. So yeah, without further ado, now let's get right into this video. Also, one thing I forgot to mention while getting into this video is that we're going to be doing the top 5 most shocking things that happened in this episode to me. So let's start, shall we? At number 5, we have Teleportation. Yes, they brought back Ranger Teleportation, and I enjoy that because no more of that Beast Morphers or Rangers in general getting stuck in traffic. Because in Beast Morphers, Zoe and a bunch of the other Rangers were late to battle because they were stuck in traffic. Have you ever heard of Rangers being stuck in traffic? Either the villain is right attacking near the Rangers where the Rangers are, or the Rangers just happen to be nearby and they can fight the bad guys. I have never in my whole career of watching Power Rangers ever seen Rangers be stuck in traffic. And I really enjoy how we brought back the iconic teleporting aspect from Mighty Morphin to here. Well, I guess we can say Mighty Morphin kind of got the teleporting aspect from Dino Fury, because Dino Fury, as we know, is technically the first Power Rangers chronologically in the Power Rangers universe. So yeah, super happy they're using teleportation. And I also thought that it was really funny how Ollie felt sick, like he was gonna throw up every time he teleported, and then Amelia felt weak in the knees. So yeah, if you're using teleportation as a Ranger, just know that's gonna take some time to getting used to. Next up at number 4, we have the TRex Champion Zord. This Zord, we got to see it in action. Now, I watched a little bit of clips of Rhea Soldier, the Sentai counterpart to Dino Fury, and yeah, I like the Zords. Like the T-Rex Champion Zords that was showcased in this episode was very awesome. It's as fast and as versatile as a Zord should be. A Zord should not be slow like swipe, swipe, punch, kick. Zord should be fast. It should be able to run around the monster, punch him, kick him, and I really like this aspect. And again, in Dino Fury, they brought back in the cockpit, you know, the Dino Charge and Ninja Steel, like virtual reality type of thing, where when you kick, the Zord kicks, when you punch, the Zord punches, and I like that aspect as well. And with these Zords, these Dino Fury Zords, you really get to see how a Zord is supposed to move. So with the T-Rex Champion Zord, it was moving so fast, able to pull out so many attacks and destroy a monster in seconds. Now, this Zord battle taking not as long as normal Zord battles do makes more sense because the Zord moves faster. Those other Zord battles where the Zord is super slow and, you know, before, like I said, it goes punch, swipe, kick, and goes super slow, and they end in like 5 seconds, it didn't make sense. Now, in Dino Fury, the Zord battles ending, you know, a little bit faster makes more sense because the Zord moves faster and it can defeat the villain faster. So yeah, I really like the T-Rex Champion Zord. Now up at number 3, let's talk about Ollies Plan. Ollies Plan in this episode was to take Void Knight's scanner that was left over in the Ranger's base from when he first raided there to attach it to his mom's drone, Dr. Kana, his mom, who is like an archaeologist and finds different cool things, and to scan for Sporix energy around the city just so there would be no more danger. And honestly, this plan was kind of smart, but kind of dumb at the same time, because A, if you did that, you guys wouldn't be Rangers anymore, and honestly, he did it without the team's permission. Amelia and, what's his name? Amelia and Zato told him not to do it, but he did it anyway. And because of that, Void Knight and Shockhorn ended up capturing his mom and trying to get her to do what they want her to do. And really, he shouldn't make up these weird, complex plans without the team's permission, because people that he loves will end up in danger. So yeah, that was Ollie's plan. Rolling up at number 2, we have the Morph in the fight scenes. Now, the Morph was one of the best Morph I've ever seen in Power Rangers. Like, it reminded me of Dino Thunder, because currently that's holding my spot at my favorite morphing sequence. But I really like their morphing sequence because they smash to the ground, and then you see like a hologram version of their Zord behind them, and then they go up, transform into their powers, and they come down, their helmet comes on them. I really like their morphing sequence, and can't wait to see other Rangers, hint, 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 in the series in future, who morph with them as well. But I really like the, morph sequence. Next up, we have the fight scenes. The fight scenes were amazing in this episode. Like, honestly, I was not expecting to see this good fight scene. Granted, some of the fight scenes were, Sentai footage, but, like, I like the way the fight scenes are put together. They really, go well with each other, the way they use the Sentai footage. And yeah, the fight scenes are really fluent, really cool. And one thing to note is that the guy who choreographed the Power Rangers Dino Thunder fight scenes also is doing this season's fight scenes as well. And Dino Thunder had really good fight scenes. So yeah, and another thing I want to mention in this kind of category is the Ranger suits. The Ranger suits are like the perfect, vibrant colors. And then when you see them do their morph for the first time in front of the bad guy Mucus, you can see behind them their colored, type of explosions behind them. And I really like the way it looked. They really put it together rather well. Now, finally, at number 1, for the most interesting thing that I found in this episode was Area 62. Now, Area 62, at the end of this episode, when Void Knight got the Sporix in battle, he went to a place called Area 62 with his new minion, best friend person, Mucus. They went to Area 62. He said the humans abandoned this place a long time ago, so it's really his to control, meaning he has all the technology at his disposal. So he puts the Sporix in a machine, and then he figures out that it's not enough to power it, so he's going to need multiple Sporixes in the future. And it's ultimately going to build up to a plan that we'll find out in a future episode, just giving you a hint if you haven't seen the future episode. But yeah, I really thought that was cool how they executed this scene. I like the whole base of Area 62. It's secluded, nobody's going to know where there is, and they don't have to worry about Ranger ambushes at his base. Speaking of Ranger ambushes at bases, let's go back to like the beginning of the episode when Void Knight and Shockhorn were trying to get back into the Ranger's base. Now, I like how they covered up the storyline from the first episode, because the first episode was that Void Knight got into the old Ranger base by striking a place on the ground and getting into the Ranger's base from the ground. And I like how in this episode, when Void Knight and Shockhorn try to go back there, he strikes the place and there's a force field around it. And I really like how they explain this, because sometimes Power Rangers likes to leave plot holes and gaps, and they don't really fill in the hole. They'll just leave plot holes there, and the story doesn't ultimately make sense. So yeah, that was number 1. And yeah, that was my review and thought about this overall episode of Dino Fury. I really enjoyed it. I give it a 5 out of 5 because it was really good, had really good points, and I enjoyed it, and it was a whole lot of fun to review and talk about. So thanks to you guys who stuck to the end of this video, and expect more Power Rangers related content from me as Power Month continues on. And yeah, So my posting schedules is Mondays and Fridays, sometimes Wednesdays. And yeah, if you guys want more content from me, you're going to have to go to my social medias. My TikTok and Instagram are my two other social medias that you can go follow if you're interested in my superhero related content. But now, if you want more content from me, you're gonna have to wait until my next video. Goodbye, you guys.